The Ojibwe word of the week related to archaeological resource crime is Nanda-gikendan, Nanda-gikendan, which is a verb that means to seek to learn something. And I'm going to use this in a phrase, Ninanda-gikendaan, gete-Anishinaabe, izhichigewin. And that sentence means I seek to learn about ancient people's lifeways, or I seek to learn about the past. Now I'm going to do a demonstration here, and I'm going to show you the difference between learning about the past through oral history, and through archaeology. Now, for those who know, history is when you learn about the past by reading about it in a book. That's a pretty safe thing to do. It's pretty innocuous to read a book. Oral history is when you learn about the past by having a conversation with an elder, someone in your community who's teaching you about these things that they directly know. Archaeology, though, it's a little bit different. So we're touching items that were used in the past. We are in those spaces. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with doing that work, and a lot of things archaeologists need to plan for and think about as they plan their work, as they do their work. So let's do a little demonstration here. Now, for those who are not from the Southwest, you might not recognize this, but we're going to pretend that this is an artifact. It is in fact not an artifact. As you see, I've taken it out of the soil that it was originally in, and I'm going to take this home with me. You know what this is? We're pretending it's an artifact, but it's actually screw bean mesquite is what it's called. It's from a mesquite tree. And the beans themselves, as you can see, they are screw-shaped, which is how it gets its name. Now, when I removed this artifact, I've severed some connections here, some really important things in order to learn about the past. So when I've taken it out of the soil that it was originally in, that soil could have had pollen in it, it could have had seeds in it, and that could have told us about the time of year that this artifact had been left. This artifact might have been found with other artifacts, and we could have told the story of how this artifact interacted with those artifacts. Maybe there was another site 100 miles from here, and they used this artifact a little bit differently, and that story of how all of those artifacts interacted at this particular location versus another one, that story's now gone. We have less of that piece of the puzzle to put together. So these are big things that archaeologists need to think about when they are doing that work, and they plan for these things when they do their work. On top of, there's the ethical implications of removing artifacts from archaeological sites. Descendant communities have really strong connections to archaeological materials, and archaeologists should be considering that when they're doing that work, and making plans for that to minimize their impact to these places while maximizing what they can learn. So if you want to do archaeology, I encourage you to do so. We need more archaeologists. We're projecting that there's going to be a big demand for archaeology if we continue doing compliance work. So I encourage people to do archaeology and to learn about it. I just ask, if you do archaeology, make sure you are talking to people who know what they're doing, who have their degree in archaeology, and are doing it in a respectful and a responsible way. So, Miigwech for tuning in to the Ojibwe Word of the Week. Gege-Wabmin. We'll see you at the next one.